Hello, it's Sandy Bakos. I have decided to film in clips again this time, and today is Monday, December 3rd. So I'm going to be doing something just a little bit different during the next month because with all the Christmas decorations out and everything, I don't really have a lot of space around me. So what I'd like to do is to be able to show you stuff and then get it put away and not have to have a bunch of stuff waiting to film. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do kind of a whip parade, but I'm going to do it over the course of the whole month because I don't know really how much stitching I'm going to get done. I'm trying, but I've had this terrible cough. I had it the other day. I woke up in the night last night coughing my full head off, and then, I don't know, a little later I woke up and I had such a pain in the right side of my ribs. I thought I was going to die. Couldn't sleep. And I think what I did was, with all that coughing, I really jacked my ribs up. And so I took some leave today to hope that that would help with whatever I did to my ribs, but they still hurt every time I cough. So I have something to drink here. I did break down and take some cough syrup. So I'm hoping that I won't do a lot of coughing, and if I do, I'll have something here to drink to calm my throat down again. Let's see, a couple of things. Yesterday was an anniversary of sorts, December 2nd. December 2nd, 1990, my father passed away very suddenly from a massive heart attack. And he was in his mid to late 70s at that time, which is kind of scary to me because I'm approaching 70 here come February. But I can't believe that it's been 28 years. Unbelievable. But anyways, Bob went to the dentist this morning, and he has to get a filling, not because he has a cavity, but because the enamel is wearing away on one of his teeth. So he'll need to get that taken care of. But other than that, he had a good checkup. And, oh, I did want to mention Jackie, Cross My Stitches. Her and I are both saying that we can't buy anything else for a while. Well, you can watch her video if you want to find out what her thing was about the purchasing. That's not mine to share, but for me, I just bought those 3 mini Hades plus all the other stuff that I've collected over the last year. And that's something that's new to me since Flosstube. I didn't used to do that. So I think it's time. We're heading into the end of the year and we're going to be approaching a new year. And I think it's time to put the brakes on. So I had made a comment to Jackie on her video that we should try to do this together, and maybe if we really feel we have to buy something, that we could just start in something new. It may give us a bunch of whips, but we'd be doing something with stuff we already have. We wouldn't be spending new cash. So Jackie, what I am going to suggest to you is that we share phone numbers, and if we're getting weak and think we want to purchase something, we can send the other one a text message and say, hey, I need help. And then the other one can text back and talk us down. How does that sound? So Jackie, what I'm going to do as soon as I find the time to do it, I'm going to send you an email because I have your email address. I'm going to send you an email with my cell phone number. And if you want to, you can send me yours back, and then we can do that. We can talk each other down and say, hey, we already got enough. let's work on what we got. So we'll see how that works. And if anybody else wants in on that, let me know. Okay, I do want to show you what I did. I had a new start. I had shown you that I was going to start for Christmas this Alma Lynn. It's Christmas. And I did start that and work on it a little bit. And I've left it in the Q-snap here because you can see everything I did. That's what I did right there. It's just the top of the hat. And on both sides, I'm getting now to the point where it goes out a little bit with the little decoration around his hat. And then I'll be moving down. So this is going to be a fairly quick one. It's not that big, as you can see here by looking at the comparison here. It's not that big. A lot of white in that beard and mustache, but I'll get through it. All right, so there's that one. Let me set that over here. Okay, now the way I'm going to do this to show these the whip parade is I'm going to start. Sorry, I'm going to start. Oops, sorry. Just hold on a sec. Today I am drinking Propel water. This is strawberry lemonade flavor. Sometimes it has no sugar added, no artificial sweeteners. Sometimes I just get tired of drinking plain old water. So that gives me a break. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my oldest whip first. And I'll give you the information and show you where it's at. And the other thing that I thought by doing this, because I'm going to hold off on pictures now and my little stories until after the first of the year. And after the first of the year, I also plan to bring back the old magazines where I was tearing out charts and showing them and giving them away. I also plan to bring that back. So we'll have that to look forward to. All right, so my oldest whip, and mine aren't oldest like some of you. Some of you have whips that are 20 years old. I don't. That's because in those years I was working, if I was cross-stitching, I worked on a project, I finished the project, and then maybe it took me another year to start another one because I was so busy all the time. But since I retired and got back into this, and then Flosstube, oh, what Flosstube did to my life. Okay, my oldest whip is Bayside Cottage. And if you've been watching me, you know that all I need to do is the back stitching in this. And I also made a decision about that back stitching. I'm going to put this away until after January 1st. Right now, I have been feeling that anxiety coming back again. And I know it's with the approach of the holidays. And if you're prone to anxiety and depression, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you get around the holidays, it just kind of starts gearing up. And so, and back stitching causes me anxiety itself. So what I'm going to do is just say, okay, I'll backstitch this in January. So this was a Bayside, no. Okay, let's start again. This is a Dimensions kit called Bayside Cottage. This is on 18 count ivory Aida, and I started this in August of 2017. So it is not that old, and so I don't feel at all bad about putting it away for another month before I dig it back out. Okay. My second oldest whip is Shades of Summer. And Shades of Summer is by Artisy. And it is being stitched on 14 count white Aida. And I did stitch on this all day yesterday. It was the only thing I worked on. And first I'll show you where I was working. And I was on this page up here. And I was filling in, mostly right in through here. I finished up quite a few squares that were partial and got those taken care of. And So I will continue to work on that. So, and I think I told you before, there's another page here, and it's a partial page, and I will go to that while I'm working on this, and then try to finish those 2 pages together, and then I'll be able to move down. And here is the whole thing. And I said this was on 14 count white. I started this in September of 2017. So it also is not that old. But as you know, it's a big one. It's going to take me a while. And this is slightly smaller than what a mini Haid would be. It's 300 by 234, and I have my, what did I do with them? Oh goodness, I had them here. I was going to show them to you, and now I don't know where I put them. Oh yes, here they are. See, that's what I said. There's just too much stuff. One of these mini Haids that I have here is 337 by 225, so pretty close to the same size. Okay, and I will continue to keep working on Shades of Summer. As I told you, I'm leaving that one out so I can just pick it up every so often and put some stitches in it. I think that is the best way for me to make progress on that. Okay, my third whip is Quaker Diamonds. And Quaker Diamonds. And I love this. And this is really, when I get these out and I look at them like this with you, it really makes me want to stitch on them. Okay, Quaker Diamonds is on, of course, it's Rosewood Manor. I think I said that. 14 count, Dense Fog, Jobel and Ada. And here's where I am with that. Show you the whole thing out here. So I've got good progress on it. And then I'll bring it in where you can see it a little better. And bring it down. And I hope there's not too much light coming in from behind to prevent you from being able to see it. I really can't see what you're seeing. But there it is. And I started this one in October of 2017. So there was August, September, and October starts. And that's all of the whips that whip parade that I'm going to show you today. Okay, now I am going to show you the Haids that I got. And they're in the plastic, and they're difficult to get out of the plastic, so I'm just going to leave them in here. And the pictures they put on the front were tiny, but here they are. I'm going to show them to you. This is, and all of these are artwork by Dominic Davison, and they all have, the chart design was by the same person. It's Michelle Sayeta, I think that's how that's said. So this one is Mini Japan Garden, and I'm going to try to get it up there as close as I can and get the glare off of it so you can see it. See all those colors? Oh, ooh. Okay, there's that one. And here is the Mini Victorian Garden. Oh, glare. There we go. That's better. Look at that house. And the color in that tree. Oh my goodness. And there's the lavender flowers and pink flowers. Oh, I can hardly wait. And then this one will be the first one that I start stitching. And this is Mini Mount Cabin Home. This was my favorite. Am I getting all the glare off? I'm trying to move the so I don't get so much glare. Yeah, I think that's pretty good right there. See the dog and the porch and the quilt on the rocking chair and the mountains and the sky. Wow! So what my plan is, at least with the first one, I am going to I've already figured out what size material that I need, and I think I have some big pieces of white Aida up there that I can cut into the right dimensions. I'll be using 14 count as always, and my plan is to look at the chart and just kit up enough of the floss for like the first few squares at the top left, rather than trying to kit the entire thing. And then it's going to be my new year, new start. I think that even though I'll be working on Shades of Summer, I'm going to start that one. I'll never get it done if I don't start it, right? And then what I may do is wait a couple of months, maybe in March 1st, maybe get the other one and kit up just enough, a few squares up there that get the floss together so that I could put a start into that. And I think what I'll do is maybe add floss colors to it as I go, because here's my box for Shades of Summer, because I kitted the whole thing all at once, and I really don't want to have to go out and buy any more boxes. But look at this thing. This is all floss for Shades of Summer. I mean, I've got it in plastic bags, and that is a lot of floss. And I know that these are going to take a lot of floss. And so rather than have to go out and buy more of these containers to have it all kitted at once, I think that what I may do is purchase a couple more project bags and just kit up part of it as I go. That way all I have to have at the beginning is if I have to go out and buy more material. All right, I've already talked too long. I didn't want to make this a really long one clip here, just a beginning. So I'm going to sign off here now, and I will come back later in the week with more of my progress. So I will talk to you all then. Take care. Bye. Okay, I think we're recording. Just a super quick clip to add on to what I've already videoed. Today is Wednesday, December the 5th. It is just about 10 minutes to 11 in the morning. I've been to the grocery store and got everything put away. I will be going out later to my eye appointment and see what the eye doctor says. I have the light on in front of me here, so you're going to get the glasses glare. It is very cold, and it is snowing outside, not real heavy. I don't think we're supposed to get an accumulation, but they are talking about these snowflakes coming down a lot here in the next couple of days. But anyways, I did go to the orthopedic guy yesterday. I liked him a lot. Nice young guy. I got the shot in my shoulder, and they did some x-rays, and they were able to access my records from my previous doctors that I had gone to, and they told me that my arthritis in the shoulder is getting worse, and that I'm still about at least 3 years from having to think about having any kind of surgery. So that's good. But that's the main problem, is arthritis. That's what's causing all my pain. So it's feeling much better today. I did carry in groceries, and that kind of put a little bit of a strain on it. But other than that, doing pretty good. I've been trying to decide what I want to to plan to do for December. And you know how I am with plans. I plan one thing one day and the next day I decide, nah, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something different and I'm changing it. So just bear with me, because I think at this point what I'm going to do is just do clips a couple of times every few days, and as we go through this Christmas season, and when I get a few things together, I'm going to upload them. And I know there are people doing Vlogmas, there's people doing Flossmas, and then just people doing the same old thing that they always do. And I don't know what I'm doing. We all know that. So, and that noise, I noticed when I played back the video that I did a couple of days ago, I kept hearing that and hearing that. That is my little baby Patches. And she has finally learned how to play. And I'm going to tell you this little story. I said I wasn't going to do a bunch of stories, but I am going to tell you a little story about Patches. If you've been here for a long time, you've heard about Patches before, but our cats are all rescue cats that were strays and feral cats out around the neighborhood that we took in. And it took us, all except for Buddy. Buddy was real friendly because he was probably less than a year old when we found him, or he found us. But Patches and Boots were adult cats. Patches, female. And she had been abused. You could tell it right away. She was so afraid. And she still, if she hears something, it doesn't even have to be a really loud noise. It just has to be a quick movement, anything. And she is jumping back and she's, ready to run. She's better, but she's still got a long ways to go. And she has been with us, I think it's going on 3 years. She took the longest. She was the most feral. She took the longest to warm up to us. It was winter time and snowing a couple of years ago. And she'd come up to the deck, up to the door, but when I opened the door, she would run. Then finally it got to where I could stick my hand, get down on the floor, stick my hand out, and she wouldn't run, but she also wouldn't let me touch her. After weeks of doing this, she finally brought her head forward and let me touch her, but I couldn't move my hand. This proceeded until finally I'd get her to come in the door, but she'd look around and she'd get, like, where am I, and then she'd run back outside. After many, many months, we finally got her to come in and stay in overnight. But then she'd want to go right back out again. And then we finally got her coming in, staying in for longer periods of time. We set up an appointment to take her to the vet to get her spaying done and her shots and all this kind of stuff. And then when the day of the appointment, we couldn't catch her. She was in the house, but we couldn't catch her. So we had to cancel that appointment. Waited a couple of more months, worked with her. Finally was able to get her to the vets. Got her spayed, got her shots, but she never played, never. Finally got her to where she would sleep upstairs in my room. Then she finally moved to where she'd sleep on my bed. She finally got to where she would crawl into my lap if I was sitting. And then it was like she was so totally needy. She had to make up for all the petting and all the love that she hadn't gotten for all those years. The vet figures that she's, at that time, was maybe about 3 or 4 years old at least. And had probably lived outside on her own for most of that time. And so kept working with her. As I said, it's going to be, this is the third winter. Probably she started coming in about January or so, a couple years ago. And I have this little toy that it has layers and then it has these little balls in it. she discovered it and she's playing with it, and that's what's making the noise, is the little balls going around. And to see her play, it just warms my heart so much, because for so long she didn't even know how to play. And she's a tortoiseshell. She's just the cutest thing. I have tried to show her before. These cats don't like to be picked up, and because they never were as kittens. And but she's over there playing with that little toy now, and it's just the cutest little thing. If I thought I could get this laptop up and around, I would show you, but I don't think so. And probably if I got it up and turned around and everything, she'd stop. Okay, a couple of things that I want to mention here really quick. This was going to be a 5-minute clip, and it's already going on 8 minutes. I wanted to show you my Christmas cactus, because some of the flowers are actually now starting to wilt, and I'm going to pick those off, and there's more buds on here, but can you see it? I love this thing. It's not a really big one. I've never repotted it. I probably should do that after it stops blooming this year and put it into a bigger pot so it can grow some more. But isn't that lovely? I just love it. So anyways, I worked on my Santa some more. So I finished up, before I just had this done, I got all this in here, and I started in on his face. So, been going to town on that. I worked a little bit on Old Glory, and I filled in probably from about here down on the blue. So now these are Smyrna stitches, and I will have to get those put in there the next time, and then start down the rest of the flag. So that I'm working on. I also worked last night, or was it just, let me look. Yeah, last night for a little bit, and then this morning I've been working on free kittens. I'm doing a sal with someone for that, and right now I forgot it's either Southern Stitcher or Southernmost Stitcher, and right now my brain has just went completely out. So I will look that up and let you know. But she's been posting on Instagram, and she's been going to town. So I thought, I got to get busy and start working. But I'll show you that on the next clip. I did watch somebody that was new to me and subscribe to their channel, and that is Saltbox Stitcher. We couldn't be more different. She does all these fantastic, beautiful samplers, and although I don't think I'll ever really get into sampler stitching, I really love seeing the ones that other people have done. So she was showing a bunch of them, Christmas ones and all kinds of stuff that she has done in the past, and they were just absolutely gorgeous. She's a fabulous stitcher. So if you have not checked her out, you may want to. I will put her link below. Also, these are the people who have commented so far. I would like to mention each one of these and say thank you for your comments. I've tried to answer each one, but also thank you here to Paige, So Createful, Pauline S., Shelley, the Moonlight Stitcher, Betty Eulin, Michelle, Stitching by Lantern Light, Lynn Blackwood, and Crafty Cat Stitcher. Those are the ones that I have written down so far. There may be another comment that I haven't gotten to. I can't remember. I think I read something last night. Not sure though. Okay. Let's see. Was there anything else that I was going to mention to you in this clip? No, I don't think so. I think that's it. So I'm going to close this out and see you next time. Bye. Hey everybody, I think we're recording now. I am going to finish up this video today and get it uploaded a day early. It's Thursday, December 6th, and I'm going to do that because I'm just feeling kind of scattered and I have a whole lot going on, and I think I would just feel better if I finished this up today and get it out of the way and then go on. So, a few things that I want to say before I get into this finishing up the stitching part of it. First of all, the other day I told you I was doing a stitch along with a stitcher on the Free Kittens, and we were calling it Free Kitten Sal on Instagram, and it's Southernmost Stitcher. I apologize that I didn't know that for sure, but I've got it written down now, so I know what I'm doing. Anyways, the next thing that I wanted to mention to you, and I'm going to try not to drag this out too much, it's kind of a public service announcement. Remember I said that my electric bill had been $380, and I was like totally flabbergasted because I never had an electric bill that high that wasn't in the middle of the winter. And so I did some checking, and what I found out is my electric bill gets emailed to me, and all they do is send you an email that says, this is how much your bill is. We're going to deduct this from your checking account on such and such a date. Then they have a link to their website. So they don't actually send you a bill. So I decided that I needed to go hunting. So I went to their website. It took me a long time to figure out just how to find the bill. Finally found it. And then I'm looking and I'm seeing that a year ago in November, we actually had more usage, but our bill was like at least $100 less. And I'm like, okay, what the heck's going on here? So in doing some checking, and this, I'm telling you this because anybody who is faced with this situation may get took like I did. And so I want to tell you about it. In the U.S., and I don't know if it's like this in every state, but you have a choice as to who you buy your electricity from. Not from who you pay your bill to, not from who delivers the electricity, but from who you actually purchase the electricity from. It used to be that years ago it was Ohio Edison and it was everything. Now here in Ohio, where I live, it's Ohio Edison, which is a First Energy company. But in Ohio, you can choose to actually purchase that electricity from anybody. Well, on your electric bill from Ohio Edison, they will put an amount down and they'll say, this is your apples to apples comparison if someone is offering you a price. So earlier in 2018, I had gotten a call from one of these companies, and I think prior to that, I had been purchasing my electricity from a company called AEP, and it was a lower price than what Ohio Edison had been offering. Okay, I want to try to explain this without it getting too crazy. This other company called me and they said, we can offer you a much better rate than what you're currently paying. So they told me what it was. I looked at my electric bill and it was significantly lower. Well, maybe not significantly, but it was lower. And so the guy, of course they're fast talkers. And I asked the guy, I says, now is this, stay the same? Oh yeah. I said, is there any additional charges? Is there cost me anything to change? No. And, he went on and on and on. And so I said, okay. And my my bill dropped. Not a whole lot, but it did drop some. And then after a few months, it went up, but we were also going into the air conditioning season, and I had been running my air conditioner in the living room a lot because it was a really hot, humid summer. So when the bill went up, I really didn't pay that much attention to it. And as I said, it comes in the email. I don't look at the bill every single month. It comes out of my checking account automatically. I just, note the amount and go on with everything else I have to do. Until this month when I got this $380 bill. And so I went back and I started checking. What I found out is that that company had actually been charging a service fee every month of $4.93, which didn't actually, when the rate was down, it didn't really make that much difference. I got that rate for 4 months. The 5th month, which was right into the air conditioning season, the rate more than doubled. Well, actually, the first month, it about doubled. And then throughout the summer, it went up and down, but it was always more than double what the guy had originally quoted me. So here it was a variable rate, which he told me, oh yeah, it'll stay the same every month. Not. And apparently they can call you up and they can lie to you and they can tell you anything they want, and there's not a thing you can do about it. Go figure. So this is just a warning out there to anybody that is in one of these places where you can choose your own electricity. You need to look at your bill every single month and see what they are charging you. And then there is, at least in Ohio, there is an Ohio government website. It's a .gov, where you can actually go and see all the places that are offering electricity and exactly how much it is, whether it's variable, whether it's fixed, whether you have to go on a contract or not, whether there's an early termination fee. All that information is there. I didn't know that before, but I do now. So what I did was I signed up to go to a First Energy Solutions. It is one of the better rates that I could find, but I did have to sign on to get that lower rate for a 3-year period. But that's okay. It's way less than what this company, it's half of what this company is currently charging me. But it won't take effect until the next meter reading date, which will be towards the end of December. So my husband and I are still, for the rest of this month, being very careful about how much heat we're using, how many lights, turning them off, and being very careful. And then after that, we can go back to just being normal and be warm. Right now, I haven't used heat in the living room in probably over a week. I've been covering up. But anyways, just a quick service announcement to you. Check your electric bills if you're in this situation, or if you've signed up with some company, because apparently they can just change the rate whenever they want. Doesn't have anything to do with anything. Okay, enough said. I went to the eye doctor yesterday, and my cataracts are doing okay. They have worsened a little bit, but not enough for surgery. He said the left side, the cataract is quite a bit bigger than on the right side. But he said I'm probably still at least a couple of years away from having to have the cataract surgery, so that's good. And then when he tested my eyes, he said something is not right here, because he said what I'm coming up with is, to even get you close, it's way worse than your previous prescription. And he says that's not usually the case. So he said, talk to me a little bit. And then he said, all right, he says, I'm going to put these other drops in your eyes. And he says, we're going to check for dryness in your eyes. Because he says, you've already said that you feel your eyes are a little dry. And I had told him I was using eye drops a couple of times a week, maybe once in the morning. And occasionally, if they were bothering me in the evening, I would put them in again in the evening. Here I have severe dry eyes. And he said that is what's been causing my vision problems. So he gave me a sample of an eye drop that has like mineral oil in it, not just the tear solution. And he said I can buy it over the counter. It's called Soothe, Soothe. And he wants me to use these drops 4 times a day. And I go back on December 17th and they will recheck my eyes and see if that makes a difference. And he said it should. And he says at that point, he says, I'm going to test your eyes again for glasses. And he says, I'm going to check your eyes again for dryness. And he says, then we'll make a decision whether you need to keep using it 4 times a day or whether we can back off a little bit. But he says, you are going to have to use some kind of an eye drop every day, at least twice a day. So here, that's probably why I haven't been able to see well enough to stitch on any kind of, like the 16 count or 18 count, and what's been causing my blurriness. And so who knows, maybe after he gets me fixed up here, I can go back and look at my 16 count, 18 count projects and maybe be able to go back and stitch on those again. So we'll see. Okay, now that was all the chatty stuff that I had. So now I'm going to show you what I've been stitching on. I did not do any more on the Santa. I will throughout this month, but that's where it was at the other day, and that's where it still is. So, but what I did work on, this is going to be my new Focus on a Finish project, and it is Old Glory, because I see that I could get, or I feel like I could get a finish on this. If not before the end of the month, I believe I could get a finish on this in January. So here's where I'm at. And when I showed this to you the other day, I had said I had just a little bit more to stitch down here on the blue. And I did that, and then I went down. I was about halfway across here, so I went down and I did all of this. Now I have just a little bit. Let's see. I think I've got another row or two of, no, one more row here of red, and then of course I have to do it over here, and then three rows of white, and 1 row, no, and 3 rows of red, and the flag will be done. So I'm going to finish this up, those rows there, because that's just straight stitching across. I'm going to finish that up before I put this away. And I'm not going to put it far away. It's going to be like I did with Summer House, where I pull it out every few days and I put some stitches into it, and then I can see a finish coming on that one. Okay, the next one that I worked on was Free Kittens. I had told you that I had done a little stitching on this one because I was watching Southernmost Stitcher post on Instagram, and I thought, oh, I want to stitch on mine. So I got it out, and she is stitching up the middle on hers, and I had started in the upper left, so we're stitching totally different parts. But I had done everything from here down. So what I did was I went in here and I put this border in. I did all this around her face, and then this color right in here is her face and neck, and I did that. So I have a few stitches to fill in on either side, and then there's some back stitching in there, and I want to do that back stitching on that and her face before I put this away. So I will do a little bit more on this before I put it back upstairs and take it out of the rotation, and then I will post a picture on Instagram of my progress. So if you're following me on Instagram, you'll be able to see that there. If you're not following me and you're on Instagram, feel free to follow me. I'm on Instagram, sandysmithbakos, and I will also have that below. I will also put Southernmost Stitcher down there. I don't believe she has a Flosstube channel. I think she's just on Instagram. And if I'm wrong on that, I'll let you know. But we are following the hashtag that we're using on Instagram for the Free Kitten Sale is hashtag Free Kitten Sale. Makes sense, right? Okay, I know that I've had a comment or two since I talked to you, and I haven't, I've read them, but I haven't hearted them or anything, so I don't have anything on my list. So I'm going to call this it. I'm going to get this uploaded, and then I'll probably be doing the vlog style now throughout the end of December, because it's just, we have a ton of appointments, and it's just, I don't know. I'm nuts. I have no excuse other than that. So I want to send my love out to everybody. I want to send hugs out to everybody. If you need a prayer, I'm going to send you a prayer, and hope everybody's doing really well. And I will see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.